afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar of Beyond the Basics, Setting Up Appointments Using ShowingTime, which is one of your member benefits from CRMLS. Just to introduce myself super quickly, and hopefully everybody can hear me here. My name is Anthony. I work here at the Orange County Association of Realtors. Been here now coming up on 15 years. Started off in the MLS department, so I know guaranteed will speak to everyone attending today's class regarding rules, regulations, violations, things like that. What I'm also involved with here at our association is our outreach program. Our outreach program is designed to give you training on your tools and products. So not only do I train on MLS, on how to run searches, add and modify listings, things like that, but I also train on zip forms, how to put together your transactions, how to digitally sign your transactions. I also train on, or have classes on training on how to utilize your tablet or iPad device for your real estate business to make you a 21st century agent. And what I mean by that is to go paperless. Now, the other things that I also train or give training on are all the other third-party member benefits that both OCR and CRMLS, as well as CAR and NAR, also offer. So, with that said, let's get started. ShowingTime. Now, ShowingTime started up about a year ago with CRMLS, and what this allows us to do is be able to not only schedule showings quickly and easily, but allow our properties or set up our properties if we're a listing agent for our showings. So today what we're going to do is show you how ShowingTime works. Now, just out of curiosity, has anybody utilized ShowingTime at all yet? Or even better yet, you have a listing in the MLS and you get these weird phone calls or text messages from ShowingTime, but it's not a real person requesting showing instructions on a property? A couple of you? All right, good. So this is a CRMLS benefit. Everyone who is a OCR member is automatically linked into ShowingTime because this, again, is your free member benefit offered to you by CRMLS as well as OCR. And the thing that you have to do first is set up your profile. One of the things that we need to do is set up some of the basic information of how we want to be contacted or how we want an agent to confirm our showing appointments or how our appointments are going to be set up on our listings. Now, currently as it stands, for all of the agents that belong to CRMLS currently, I want to say that 3 out of the 37 associations part of CRMLS are using ShowingTime. About 75% of its membership right now is using ShowingTime for all of its showing requests as well as being requested. Now, I know some of us have probably run across agents who have put in the agent remarks, don't use ShowingTime, I don't do ShowingTime. Those are probably the agents that aren't familiar with it, but trust me, this is going to be a great tool to help get your day started, and to not get started, but help you be a lot more efficient with your showings, okay? So what we are going to do first and foremost is set up our profile. How we set up our profile is basically we log into the MLS system. We can access ShowingTime in one of two places. The first place is here under the External Links tab. Here under your home screen, you have the External Links widget, and under the External Links widget, we can come down below and click on ShowingTime here, or we can go up to the top corner, and here under your bars, or under your menu choices, we can click on the tab that says Links. When we click on the tab that says Links, as an example, we are now given all of our third-party member benefits. For CRMLS, one of these benefits, if we scroll down, is ShowingTime. When we click on ShowingTime, if this is our first time accessing ShowingTime, then we're going to be taken to our home screen or our profile screen. If this is your first time accessing ShowingTime, you're going to get a choice that pops up immediately that says, would you like to update your profile? Yes or later. If you hit yes, you'll immediately be taken to your profile. If you hit later, you can access your profile from one of two areas. Here, under where it says My Profile, choose the button that says Edit Profile, or come over here to the left-hand corner and click on My Agent Setup. So one of these two ways, or three ways, we can access our profile. When we click on one of these choices, so here when we click on Edit Profile, when I click on Edit Profile, we are taken to the profile area. At the very top here where it says Profile Basics, we're going to fill in some information. Some of the basic information that we're going to make sure that we're going to fill in is our phone number information. If this is your first time accessing ShowingTime, the only 2 bits of information that will appear here are your name and your email address. Those are the only 2 things that are populated in immediately. Now, if I type in a phone number, here when I type in a phone number, I need to select the phone type. Now, the phone type is important because if you notice here, in your profile, you have a choice that says text message option. In this text message option, if you have no mobile phone number selected as the phone type, this will now allow you to choose your mobile phone number. Okay, so make sure that you select your phone type as mobile phone, and now under the text message, your mobile phone number will be filled in automatically for you. Okay, now what this allows you to do is, as we come down below, is to have a third option to be contacted at. Now, as we fill in our information under our profile basics, we make sure our name is spelled correctly, we put in our phone numbers, make sure our email address is up to date. Over here to the left-hand corner, we're going to click on upload a photo of ourselves. Make sure you browse your computer, upload a current photo of yourself for your profile. And now we can scroll right on down. Now, the next thing that we're going to need to do in our profile setup, because this is great for not just showing agents but also listing agents, we're going to start off with the listing agent preferences first. Your listing agent preferences here defaults to say allow agents to request appointments online, meaning that you as the agent generically are allowing all your listings to be set up through ShowingTime for agents to request showings on your listings. Now, currently right now, it's an option for you to utilize, yes or no. I would leave the choice here of allowing your appointments to be requested as a yes. You want to start getting used to setting up your showing instructions as a listing agent on your listings through ShowingTime. You will be amazed, and I will show you today how easy it is. Now, with that said, if I leave it at yes, we're going to default all of our listings with some generic settings. Our first generic setting is the default appointment mode. Here under the default appointment mode, it says that your default setting is appointment required. The appointment required means that an agent or showing agent requesting a showing on your listing must request a date and a time from you to gain access into the property. We can switch this. How we switch this, we just click on the down arrow and we have 2 other appointment modes that we can set up for all of our listings. Besides the appointment required, we can say we want every listing that we input into the MLS just to go and show. Go and show just is almost like saying vacant, go direct, meaning that the agent requesting the showing is automatically sent an automatic update or an automatic confirmation of the appointment saying that yes, whatever time you're requesting, it's great, you can go and see it. We're notified about it, but we're also see that the system automatically approves it. Or we can make every listing that says view the showing instructions. So call listing agent for gate code, call for combo code, whatever. Now you may not want to do these other 2 methods automatically for all of your listings. Again, I will show you through the listing setup how you can set up your individual listings with its own individual showing instructions. But as a generic choice, I would recommend leaving it at appointment required. Now, the next big thing here that we need to look at is the notifications. How you, the listing agent, are notified about the showings being requested on your listings. Because this is your first time or maybe your first time using ShowingTime, the only 2 choices here that will be available will be email and showing voice. Email and showing voice basically says that you get an automatic email or you get an automatic phone call from ShowingTime of the request. You'll notice here that in the middle we do have a text message choice. Now, because I have a mobile phone number and a text message selected, or text message phone number selected, this will now allow me to select my text message choice, when appointments are being requested, and, of course, how I want to confirm or cancel the appointment. Here you can select either one of three or all three choices. This fourth choice here, the push notification, you may not have, but in this case I do because I have the application that I downloaded. We'll go over that in a minute. But currently, if you are doing this for the first time, you only have three choices: email, text, and show voice. I would recommend selecting all three. This means here you as the listing agent get an automatic call, email, and text within 30 seconds of the requested showing time. Okay? Why I select all three: me as a listing agent should never ever at any point in time say that I was never notified about a showing request. So as a listing agent, behoovement upon me to make sure that I am emailed, text, and phone called on all of my appointments. We'll go over all that here in a second, but at least make sure that at least all three are selected. One of the other nice things about a listing agent is that you can also request feedback on a showing. I know that with Supra, there is a feedback request feature within SuperWeb, but only if A, a lockbox is assigned to an MLS number, okay, and B, if you've gone under your email settings and set up the email request to be set up. Will only the listing agent or the showing agent be requested to show the property. A couple of fundamental problems with that. One is that they're only emailed one time, and if the listing agent did not assign their lockbox to a current MLS number, then it's only going to give that showing agent a box number of when they showed it. I don't know about you guys, but do you pay attention to the lockbox serial numbers that you access when you go to see a property? Probably not, right? This is one of the nice advantages of ShowingTime. Here in ShowingTime, I can say, yes, I'd like, as a listing agent, to request feedback from a showing agent. I can say I want them to get at least 3 reminders, at least 1 day apart. Or I can say I want them to get 1 reminder at least within 2 days. Or I can say I want them to at least get 6 reminders 2 days apart to make sure that the showing agent gives me feedback. Now, what happens here is that once they go and see the property that day, they are automatically, whether they access it or not, they are automatically sent from the day that they have the confirmed appointment a reminder that says, can you please give feedback on the MLS number, the property address, and the listing agent information is given to them. So hopefully it reminds the showing agent what property they were at, when they showed it, and who the listing agent is to give the feedback to. I would typically recommend at least a number of feedback requests at least 3 times, at least 1 day apart. Hopefully by day 2, they will give you some sort of feedback like, yes, we liked it, or no, we didn't like it at all. But hopefully they elaborate about what they didn't like about it, okay? That way it helps, again, with your reports as a listing agent, giving to a seller information, okay? Now that we've talked about the listing agent information enough, let's scroll down a little bit further. Let's treat you as a showing agent. Here under your showing agent preferences, the big thing to look for here, when an appointment or appointments confirmed or canceled, again, because this is our first time accessing, only the email and phone call. Here, because we have our text message, we can select our text message option. This means that when a listing agent responds one of the 3 methods, I, as the showing agent, will be called, emailed, and text within 30 seconds of their response. And again, like the listing agent, there should be no reason why I, as the showing agent, aren't notified about that confirmed appointment, okay? Select all 3. From here, we're going to scroll down a little bit further. Appointment scheduling. What type of appointments do you do? Are you a showing agent, inspector, appraiser, this, that, and the other? As a matter of fact, they elaborated on this menu a lot more. This is, again, your general default, so most everybody attending today are all showing agents under the showing agent preferences. How long do you need your appointments to generally be requested? Here it's defaulted to your 15 minutes. That means that if I make a request at 10 o'clock, the request is from 10 to 10:15 for that one showing. I don't know about you guys, but how often are you at a property? It probably varies, right? Anywhere from 30 seconds to an hour and a half, right? And a lot of times if you're running late between appointments or between showings, is 15 minutes good enough? Probably not. Here, I would recommend at least a default of an hour. That means that if I make a request on a property at 11 o'clock, the default appointment being requested is from 11 to 12. Okay, so we'll go over that as well about showing you this, but at least your default length of time. Now down below, what kind of lockboxes are we using? Because you're a CRMLS member, we all use Supra, so you say yes under Supra. Down below, if we scroll down a little bit, because of this push notification choice, ShowingTime does have an app that you can download. The ShowingTime app, if you try to download it now, you won't be able to access it unless you pay for it. But because this is a free CRMLS member benefit, down below under where it says mobile app access, make sure that your email that you have at the top of the screen matches, and now you can send yourself an authentication link. What this authentication link does is it allows you to have ShowingTime's app absolutely free on your mobile device. Once you activate it on your mobile device, not only can you receive notifications and requests through your mobile phone device, so now you can send out a request or respond to a request, not just through text messaging or calling or emailing, but now you have a push notification that when you turn on your phone, you immediately see in your phone's notification turn on screen any requests that are being sent to you, okay, or that have been confirmed. And we'll go over a couple of other nice things about that app as well. So email yourself the authentication link, access it, download it, and then activate it. Anything that you modify in your profile at the very top of the screen here, you'll notice that a big green button says Save Your Changes. Click on Save Changes. You're going to set up and save all your changes for all your listings. That's basics on setting up your profile. Okay. Now, before we leave ShowingTime, we're the listing agent. Even though we do have those showing instructions in the MLS, here in our profile we said under the listing agent preferences, we want to default all of our appointments to an appointment being required, right? Well, maybe we've got some other things going on in our listings, like, oh, I don't know, maybe I've got a property that's not just an appointment being required, but it's a vacant go and show, or I've got another property that's not vacant and it's not an appointment required, but it's got special showing instructions like beware of dog or something like that. Or even yet, we've got certain restrictions and we need to block out certain dates or certain days and times and things like that. We can do all this through ShowingTime through the listing setup. So here under the listing setup, as a listing agent, very quickly, we click on listing setup. Now what I love about ShowingTime, and because it's with CRMLS, the moment you input a listing into the MLS, within 10 to 15 minutes, your listing will automatically be uploaded here to set up your showing instructions within ShowingTime. So really, all you've got to do now is come right here to the listing setup in ShowingTime to set up your specific showing instructions for a particular listing. Very simply, how we do that, we simply hover over top of the listing, just like so, and we click. From here, we've got our menu choices. First, under the showing instructions, and it looks like they've updated this recently, which is awesome. We've got the property. Again, under this particular property, we can allow this one listing to be on ShowingTime or not. Again, we want to leave that as a default of yes. Here under the appointment settings, you'll notice that under the appointment type, it's defaulted to say appointment required. Again, the showing agent has to request a date and a time for this property. But maybe this listing is a vacant go and show. Very simply, click on the down arrow, and now we can select our other two options. Courtesy, go, and show. What this means is that now when a showing agent requests a showing on this property, they are automatically sent a call, email, or text back confirming the appointment. Now, I, as the listing agent, are always notified of every appointment being requested, and I also see all the automatic confirmations. Under the View Showing Instructions, or View Instructions Only, when I select that, now I can come down below to the very bottom, and under where it says Additional Instructions, type in the specific instructions. There you go. And then we can hit Add Form, Predefined Notes. Now when an agent goes to request a showing, they will automatically see that they need to view the showing instructions and what those showing instructions are. Okay? Now, if we're here at Appointment Required, as an example, maybe you as the showing agent or the listing agent have a couple of things going on. Maybe, and I'm sure some of us have seen this in the MLS where it says contact owner for showings, or contact tenant for showings, or contact my assistant to coordinate the showings, right? Now, what's cool about this is that down below under where it says contacts, here's your information right here. Unfortunately, you cannot take yourself out of the loop, but you can pick and choose for this listing how you want to be notified and confirm the appointments, right? But maybe I am getting ready to go on vacation, and I've got a business partner here in the office that is going to help approve some of the appointments for me while I'm out on vacation, or I've got an assistant that's part of the MLS or anything like that. Down below here, underneath in the contact section, I can click on Add New Co-Listing Agent. When I click on Add New Co-Listing Agent, all I need to do is put in the MLS ID for the agent. So maybe I put in their information. Let's see here, OC Lopez SAN as an example. And then when I hit search, it finds the person, and now I can pick for them to be called, emailed, or text. So when I hit add the person and they're added here, now both of us will be notified about a showing request. While I'm on vacation, I can see if the other, my partner is approving those appointments. If I can add in a co-listing agent, I can also, if I have a tenant-occupied property or I have a seller-controlled situation where they want to approve the showings themselves, there is a choice here that says add owner or add new owner occupant. What this allows me to do here is add in the owner and or tenant information or whoever is occupying the property. Simply click on Add New Owner Occupant. Now type in their name, their phone numbers, their email addresses, and now when I hit Save, I can now pick and choose for them how they need to be notified about the showing request. Now what's cool about this is that, okay, we've got a tenant that needs to approve the showing because it's tenant occupied. I'm going on vacation, and while I'm on vacation, showing requests are coming through. I notice that the request is coming through, but the tenant's not approving any of the showings. They're not even responding, or they're denying all of them. Again, because of all the tracking that ShowingTime does under the reports section, what's nice about this is that now I can show the landlord that we might have an issue with the tenant, because I can print out the report and say, here are 30 requested showings over the weekend, and the tenant denied all of them. I think we have an issue. So you could actually, as a listing agent, back up, or show the homeowner that's trying to sell that investment property that the occupant is giving you guys problems. So in a way, hopefully that won't ever happen, but in a way this helps you out. Besides the showing or adding in the owner occupant or the co-listing agent, come down below. We also have appointment restrictions, whereby we can say we don't allow same-day appointments. That means that if an agent wakes up today and they want to see property today, if I don't allow any same-day appointments on this listing, they won't be able to request the appointment. They have to at least request it for tomorrow or beyond. Or I could say, give me a lead time of at least 3 hours before the appointment. So when they go through to make the appointment, it will say you can only make the appointments 3 hours from this point, or 1 hour, or 24, 48, or 72 hours prior. So that kind of helps out. Okay? What happens, anybody have a situation where maybe you've got a day sleeper, or now that the kids are home from school, that there are certain restrictions to being able to see the property while the kids may be home and parents aren't, or that the day sleeper needs their sleep so they don't allow any showings between 8 and 2. Well, here under the appointment restrictions, there is a choice here that says add new showing restriction. When we click on add new showing restriction, now we can say what the reason is. Maybe we've got day sleeper. The restriction is that they do not allow any showings between 8 and 2 p.m. We're going to be repeating this starting on the date that we take the listing to the date that the listing concludes. And they are a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday person that they don't allow these showings. Now when I hit save showing restriction, what will happen is that these will turn out as blackout times on these dates or on these days during this listing period. Okay, so now an agent, even though they want to see the property, they are not allowed to make a request on those listings because you've blacked it out. Okay, so now you've shown them why, between what times, through what dates, on what days, which is kind of nice. Okay, and you can actually add in multiple restrictions for the one property. Maybe they don't allow any showings from 8 to 2, but maybe this is during the school year and the kids get home at 4. So they don't want anybody to show the property while their kids are home alone for an hour or two from 4 to 7. Then after you add this restriction, you go back in, add a new showing restriction, and put in what those restrictions are. Maybe you don't say kids home alone, something creative that way. Okay, so that is something that you can do. So now we can add in showing restrictions, time restrictions, add in extra people to our showings, as well as our showing instructions. Anything that you modify for the showing here, hit save changes, and you're good to go. Now I know this looks a lot longer and more complicated just because I showed you all of the tools, but trust me, once you look at this, it'll be easy peasy, especially when you're adding in people to be notified along with yourself. Fortunately, you can't remove yourself from the showing request, but at least you can see if other people that you're adding in to approve the showings for you are approving them or not. So it still keeps you in the loop, as well as add in those special restrictions. Okay, well, with that said, let us get to the fun part, setting up showings through as a showing agent. So very simply, we can do this in several ways. We can pull up an individual listing itself. Very simply. We pull up one listing. We can set up showing time for an individual listing a couple of ways. One, we can, from the Agent One-Line Report, select the listing, and here under Actions, come over to where it says Showing Time, and click on Showing Time to request the showing, or we can click on the MLS listing number itself to go into the body of the listing. And here in the body of the listing, under the map, there is the Showing Time icon. When we click on the Showing Time icon here, we're now requesting a showing on this property. Here, we can say that we're the ones requesting. If any of you are assisting another agent in setting up some showings, you can actually type in the other agent's ID here to have that agent be notified of the showing being requested. So my business partner can't set up the showing right now. I'm doing them a favor. I'll put in their ID so that they can be contacted instead of me. Or in this case, I'm the one that's setting up my own showing for this property. I'm just going to click on my name. Here under my name, there's my information. Here I can pick and choose from the default setup under my profile how I want to be contacted right away. Okay. So what's nice about this is that maybe I'm getting ready to walk out the door right now and I won't be able to look at my email, and I definitely won't be able to take a phone call while I'm out with my client, but maybe I will glance at my text about the confirmation of the appointment. So here we can pick and choose. From here, very first time doing ShowingTime, down below, click on agree to the terms. Once you select that, you don't have to ever do it again. Now at this point, we're going to click on schedule a single showing. When I click on schedule a single showing, very simply, here's the calendar from today. Obviously, I can't make any times for earlier today, so it blacks out that. But here at the calendar, I get to see if there are any other blackout times and periods. I can even scroll through the calendar, so if I wanted to make this appointment for next week, I can do so. Very simply at this point, click on the time, on the date that you want. A little window pops up, says that you are requesting a date and time on this date at this time. This is a showing, or we can switch this as this is my second time showing it, my third time showing it, this is an inspection, whatever. Now, because in my profile, I had defaulted my profile to be an hour-long appointment. You'll notice here that here's an optional indicator that says when will the latest time I will be at this property. So because I selected 1:45, it defaulted me to 2:45. If I need to make this shorter or longer, simply click on the down arrow and select my times. I will be here shorter or I will be here longer. From here, the third required choice is what's the status of the appointment? Is the status confirmed already or not confirmed? Typically, these are not confirmed appointments because the listing agent hasn't approved them. But maybe the reason why this choice is here is that maybe I met this agent or the listing agent at Broker Preview today. I asked him if I could show this property on July 1st. Even though they gave me a verbal, they had asked me, hey, can you just send me a showing time request? Sure. I can do that, and I can already show or indicate that this appointment has already been pre-confirmed. Typically, this is a not confirmed appointment. At this point, with this information selected, I can now say yes, and I do believe I've got all the required fields here. When I say yes, now ShowingTime has sent an automatic call, email, and text to the listing agent about my appointment. And if you can hear, my phone is ringing right now. And if I can hopefully play this on speaker, this is what the phone request sounds like. Hopefully.
Hello, this is ShowingTime calling. Anthony Bried of OCR and LS would like to show your listing at 123 Daffy Duck on Saturday, July 1st from 1:45 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. Please call us back at your earliest convenience at 877-351-7469. Once again, Anthony Bried.
So now, that was the automatic phone call where very simply I can either press 1 to deny the appointment or press 3 to confirm the appointment. At that same moment, I also received a text from ShowingTime, and ShowingTime's text basically says this: showing requested for Saturday, July 1st at 1:45 at the property address. The requester's name is there, along with what company they work for, along with, and again, this is pulled from their profile, the showing agent's phone number. The phone number is highlighted so that because I'm now looking at my text messages on my phone, I can either, if I need to talk to this showing agent, I could tap on the phone number and call the showing agent directly, or because I'm on my mobile phone, text message the agent. But to confirm the appointment, just press Y or N. If I press Y and I hit send, now the showing agent is called, emailed, and texted within the next 30 seconds of the confirmed appointment. That's how easy it is to set up one showing. How many of you show more than one property at any given time to a client? Probably everybody, right? And I know most of us here as the showing agent probably call, email, and text on all of those properties. Now, this is where we're going to have fun. If you are probably spending at least an hour setting up maybe 5 to 6 appointments for one person, that's about 10 minutes per appointment. You're calling, you're emailing, you're text messaging the listing agent for this. And again, you noticed here that with just one property, I called, emailed, and texted the listing agent within 30 seconds. And that is going to be called the carts. I'm just going to pull up some property information just real quickly. So here we're going to look for active homes in Laguna Hills. And we're just going to put in a price range real quick under my speed bar. So maybe I get a list of properties just like so. I am going to select those properties. My client wants to see all these homes tomorrow. Instead of me going into each individual listing, pulling up and setting up each individual showing instruction, because what else do I need to do besides print out these properties or set them up in my carts, route my day and everything? This is where ShowingTime is really going to excel. When I select the properties from my Agent One-Line report, I am immediately going to go under Actions and go to where it says ShowingTime. When I go to ShowingTime, it defaults to me. I can't set up a ShowingTime for multiple properties for anybody else other than me. Here I can pick and choose my preferred contact confirmation methods. I'm now going to choose the button here. Instead of saying set up an individual showing, I'm now going to instead choose Add to Showing Cart. When I click on Add to Showing Cart, I am asked by ShowingTime, what date do we want to set up these showings? So maybe I want to set up these showings for July 3rd. Down below, we're going to ignore the buyer's name because the description field is actually a required field. So instead of typing in the buyer's name here, we're going to type in the buyer's name under the description. Now why this is here is for my calendar and my calendar only. I need to remember who I'm setting up my appointments for. So at this point, I'm going to set up my appointments for Darth Vader. Here's my buyer under the description for July 3rd. Now when I say OK, all those listings are now imported into the showing cart in ShowingTime. Here you'll notice that here are the properties in the order of selection. Down below, here's a map of all the properties. Now a lot of us go, you know what? I do not show the properties in this exact order. I need to route my day. This is going to be very simple. Now I know in the MLS system there is a directions choice when you select a property, but the problem with that is that I have to move each and every listing. Let me show you the fun thing with this. I want to go to property number 6 first, and then I want it to route me from 6 on through to everybody else. Here in my list of properties, I'm just going to hover my mouse over top of property number 6. I'm going to click and hold down with my mouse, drag it to the number 1 spot, and let go. When I do that, I'm now going to come down below here and click on the button that says Smart Route. Smart Route me from the very first property to the very last. It's rerouted all these properties on the map, first, second, through all the way to number 7. So we just routed our entire property map in less than 30 seconds. That's one. So here in the showing cart, we've put all of the listings that we want to see tomorrow. Here in our showing cart, we've just routed our first property to our last within 30 seconds. By the way, maybe I need to add in a start and stop. Maybe I want to add in my company address to meet at. Come over here to the right-hand side choose Add a Other Stop and type in a property address, and then hit Add Stop and then place it. So maybe if I have an out-of-town client who's got me showing property all day, and there are 20 or 11 or 12 properties that we're seeing today, and we need to add in a start point, a stop point throughout the day, maybe for lunch or anything like that, we can do that and route it. Okay, so there, we've got our route all taken care of. Now, from here, we have the appointment types. We notice here the appointments are being requested. Okay, we do have one that says this listing is not accepting any showing time appointments. That's probably because either A, the agent has opted out of it, or B, their association is not part of showing time, which in this case, I think this is a San Diego MLS listing number, which it is. So they're not on showing time. Very simply, I'll probably have to go back into the MLS, set up the appointment, and say if it's confirmed or not. But from here, we now need to pick a time. Now, before I click on pick a time here, let's make it a lot easier on ourselves. Let's come over here to the right. Here are the availabilities on the times on this date that we are requesting. So all I need to do, if I see any blackout times or anything like that, I can immediately see it. But right away, I can now just click on when we're starting at this property, and I can hit save. And now maybe I go, oh, you know what? I'm going to give myself a little extra lead time. And I'm just going to go right on through and do what I need to do. And I'm just going to just go right on through and do our requests. As a matter of fact, I could probably do the same times if I wanted to, just like so. At this point, I'm going to come back over here to the top right, and now I'm going to click on the button that says Send Request. The moment I hit Send Request, all these agents that are part of ShowingTime, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 agents are automatically going to be called, emailed, and texted within 30 seconds of the appointments on the date and the time that I'm requesting for that listing. That's done in 30 seconds. So here, in less than 5 minutes, we have routed our day from start to finish. We have now made our appointment, and now we have sent our appointment request to the showing agents. Now I'm going to sit back and wait for them to approve them. And I can always come back into ShowingTime to see in the showing cart what has been approved and not been approved yet. And I can then elect to remove it or keep it in my showing request. So here, we can now do all that. We're going to go over one other important thing here. Remember how we were talking about the app that you can download from your profile? If you download your app, or you activate and download the app on your mobile device at this point, a couple of things. One, we can access the showing cart through ShowingTime's app on our mobile device. So we can see all the properties that have been approved right away. We can actually make appointments if we have to through ShowingTime's app on our phone device. So we can access the MLS database, pull up a property that's right next door to us, hit send a request, and now that listing agent's called, email, text. But here's the real advantage comes through. You notice here we've got all the property addresses right here, right? How many of you have done this? You go and you need to now plug these into your GPS. I need to be able to drive to each and every individual property. And that's a lot of typing in. And a lot of times your GPS, especially the ones in the car, won't take more than one address at a time, right? Here in the ShowingTime app, if you go into the ShowingTime app on your phone device and you go into your showing cart, because your phone device itself has access to either Google Maps or Apple Maps, those are navigating apps. So if you type in a property address there, it will route you to that address. But stop. We won't need to type this. In the ShowingTime app, next to the address, there will be a car icon. If you click on the car icon, automatically the address is uploaded into your phone's GPS or phone's navigator, which will now automatically drive you to and from each and every property from your showing cart or in your showing cart. So now we have saved ourselves even more time not having to replug these addresses into our phone's GPS system. So we've got our day routed, we've got our appointments requested, and we've got everything in our navigation system automatically through ShowingCart. So now we've set up all of our 9 appointments today in less than 5 minutes. Oh, and by the way, you can email or print out your turn-by-turn directions if you choose. Okay? And you can even email these properties to your client for them to have directions to and from your route. Are there any questions on this? Hopefully this shows how easy and simple it is. Try it out. Yeah, I think this is super simple, especially setting up multiple appointments. Now all of a sudden spending, 70 minutes here setting up showings. You've now spent less than 5 minutes to set up 7 property showings. So I think that's really great. Oh, let me show you one other thing before we go. That's the ShowingCart basically. We need to show you some of the reports. So maybe you as the listing agent, you've gotten a lot of good showings, but a lot of the showings are all kind of saying the same thing, that maybe the home's overpriced or something's going on, and you need to give this type of feedback to your client, right? So let's go back under the ShowingTime section here. Here under the ShowingTime, we're going to go over to our reports. Now our reports section, we have all these available nice reports that we can pick and choose from. All have charts and graphs, things like that. But we're going to choose, in this case, the listing activity. When I go into the listing activity report, we now select the listing that we want the activity on. Here, under the agent report section, we see from start to finish our showing activity. How many showings we have gotten during those months. Down below here, we've got appointments that were confirmed, dates, times, showing agent information, their name, phone number, email address, and any notes or comments and feedback. That's most important at this point. We've got feedback. Now, how many of you want to give something like this to your client, but you don't want your client to see the other agent information, right? Very simply, we're going to come right back up here, and at near the top right left corner here, it says homeowner version. When I click on homeowner version, we now get to see almost kind of the exact same data right at the top. When we come down below here and we see the appointments that were requested and approved or denied or not responded to at all, the date, the time, and of course the comment is the feedback section. So here we can now print this report and give the seller the information. So we can show them, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here are all these showings that have happened at your home on these dates and these times, and here are their general comments or feedback to these property or to your property. They feel that it's got a weird funky smell or it's overpriced or whatever. At least now you can show someone right away what people are thinking about the home. So this is why I encourage agents to make sure that they always give feedback on the listings that they're seeing, because you as the listing agent need that to give vital information to your seller. To show them, hey, this is why you're not going to sell it fast. You're overpriced. All the other agents, it's not me saying it, it's other agents and their clients saying that they feel that it's overpriced, as an example. Okay? Are there any questions on this? And of course, you've got the download or print or email the report, however you wish. Are there any other questions on this? I want to thank everybody for attending today's class. I hope you all enjoyed our class today. Just to give you my information again, here's my information. Feel free to call me or email me. My email address is tony@ocr.org. My phone number is 949-586-6800, extension 104. Feel free to email me or call me anytime. With all that said, thank you all again very much. You should have a copy of this emailed to you by this time tomorrow of today's webinar. So again, I appreciate everything that you guys do for us here at the association. I'm glad that we're able to give back to you all some training to learn how to use your tools. And thank you again very much. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.